Hello, thanks for being here. I did find some tractor paper. So today what I'm going to try and do is I have here a Star NX-1000C printer. This was the Star printer that was made or adapted for the Commodore 64. So the first thing we must do, there's this little cover. I guess you kind of lift up and away, and it will come off. And in front of you, you will find the tractor feed. So, it's funny, you know, there were people, I think, that kept their jobs at companies because they could load printers with this paper and labels and make them work. Anyway, they're also called pin fed. So you look for the pins and you put the paper in and line up the holes with the pins, which sounds simple, but that didn't go well. Okay, I think I have it. And then you very carefully twist forward. Now if you notice there's any weird stuff going on, you may have to adjust these things, and certainly for labels they would be adjusted. There are little things here you can release and do this. I've not touched this, but it does seem to be in good shape. The other thing is, as this is coming up, you might have to push. Yeah, there's a thing here, like a bar and a roller to keep things all nice and flat and stretch. And it doesn't just roll right through. So you have to take off the other cover. And then thankfully, printers like this, of this era, did not have all the sensors that some printers have today that basically if you don't have every door and everything just so, they won't work. Now, is that on? I'm not too sure if that's on properly. It doesn't look like it's on properly. Okay, it looks like you're supposed to sort of attack it in a downward fashion and push. Aha. And then give it a little push on the back. Okay, it looks good. So I'll just crank that through. And then of course, if I turn on the printer, if you were watching my previous video, it would then scream because it didn't have paper. Now it has paper. And there are no error lights flashing. But anyway, this video is just to show how to load the paper. First of all, you must find tractor paper. Although I do believe that this printer will also take non-tractor paper. So if you don't have tractor paper, then you're dealing with, I think, just sticking a sheet in there and reeling it forward. I think, well, that too is another story. So the tractor paper is in. I'm going to just turn this on and see if I'm going to push the paper feed. Oh, offline. And it does seem to be feeding. Excellent. Beeping noises. There's all kinds of options on the front here about fonts and things. That too is another thing. Anyway, all I'm worried about right now is paper. One thing, as we're here and we're talking about tractor feed things, labels were a really good thing. Mailing labels and other such things. But the best thing ever, if you're really going to use a printer seriously for labels, don't take them out. And I'll tell you what happens. And not necessarily, like you feed them in, you have to adjust the things, because usually, or the tractors, because usually they are thinner, and get them all set up. So, but what happens is people then get all worried about wasting a label, and then they go to turn this backwards. Well, it all sounds good, but once the labels are in, and once they've gone through, there's a good chance when you wheel them backwards that the label will then get stuck. And it's hell. Anyway, so if you have a printer such as this, as many of people did, there was the Commodore version as well as the non-Commodore version. The loading is the same. Take this piece off, affix the tractors to the paper. If the paper is not lined up properly, or the tractor settings seem wrong, there's little clippy things here to just flip, and then you can slide them back and forth. Make sure they are just so, and you will have to take this off to get it running through. But once that is achieved, assuming your printer works, you should be able to print. You should be. I think I remember this. No, I thought that used to do something. Maybe if it's all, I'll put it on. Maybe on another printer. Anyway, so there it is. The Star NX-1000C Commodore compatible printer. First find tractor paper and load it up and start writing or start creating, or just have it on display. Anyway, next time we'll see if this printer actually works. Until then, bye for now.